Now, this could be the biggest political rift inside Trump circle we've seen since Sessions. Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, the Epstein files, and Trump caught in the crossfire. It's not confirmed, at least from what I've gathered, but the smoke is everywhere. And same thing. Where there's smoke, we follow the fire. Now, let's see what's going on now. It says right here, according to Nick Sorta in this post with these photos, Dan Bongino will not stay in the FBI. Pam Bondi is not removed. Sources close to Deputy Director tell Daily Wire. Ouch. Now, let's be clear. This is alleged based on sources close to Bongino, but if it's even halfway true, this is no small deal. Not at all. Bongino isn't some mid-level guy, you know what I mean? He's Trump's hand-picked bulldog, if you will, at the FBI. I mean, something behind the scenes could be broken.
David, tell us what you're learning here.
Well, Martha, this clearly has been bubbling up over the past few days, but now spilling out into the public between Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino. He took the day off today from work, we're told, because he's so upset about the rollout of the Epstein memo that DOJ released earlier this week. Two sources familiar with the meeting say both were at the White House on Wednesday to discuss a unity path forward with the Trump administration following criticism from the Trump base about a DOJ memo out earlier this week that insisted Jeffrey Epstein's client list never existed and he committed suicide. Now, this after Bondi, FBI Director Cashapp and Bongino for months said Epstein information would indeed be released in some form. Bongino apparently was so upset, again, he did not come to work. One source says they haven't seen him since Wednesday at work, and he may end up resigning. He was critical of the Bureau as a podcast host before being named Deputy FBI Director. As for Bondi, she's close with President Trump, has been for years. I asked the White House if the president is happy with the Attorney General. I'm told yes, he is. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, says the president is proud of the Attorney General's efforts to execute his Make America Safe Again agenda, restore the integrity of the DOJ, and bring justice to the victims of crime. The continued fixation on sowing division in President Trump's cabinet is baseless and unfounded in reality. That's from Caroline Leavitt. Her deputy, Harrison Fields, says of Bongino and Mr. Patel, the FBI director, the president has assembled a highly qualified and experienced law and order team.
Now, this is confirmed. Fox News reported he skipped work after the DOJ memo dropped. The same memo that denied the existence of an Epstein client list. Funny how Democrats said that list didn't exist for years. Now Bondi, who once hinted it was coming, signs off on a memo that kills the narrative. Some don't add up. And Bongino walking out feels like a vacation. I mean, it feels less like a vacation and more like a protest, obviously.
Hey, I'm just getting ready to go into the mountains, so I'm going to lose signal. And before I did, I got a comment on what's happening in Washington with Dan Bongino and Pam Bondi. A direct plea to President Trump. Please, President Trump, I know you're not involved at this level. I know that you are busy working on huge, huge projects. But America can't lose Dan Bongino. He has so much credibility. Everybody knows him, loves him. Pam Bondi has created so much doubt and chaos in this whole thing. There's no reason for all of this. You know, either it's a massive cover-up or she's just fouled this up every single time. Please, let's not lose Dan Bongino. If there's a choice, I hope not, but please, fire Pam Bondi. Keep Dan Bongino, please.
So this is Glenn Beck. He didn't even wait to get inside. He literally stopped on the road to say that. I guess that's what conviction looks like. And when conservative voices start pleading for changes like that, it ain't about clicks, man. It's about the gut instinct that something dirty might be happening. And if this was just about one bad memo, why are theories getting louder, not quieter?
Just a final question on this topic, since, of course, it is your expertise. What do you think would happen if there was an honest prosecution of people at Diddy parties, people on the Epstein list? Do you think that anybody would be left standing in Hollywood? Is it that endemic?
I think it goes to the royals of the world, the kings and queens. That's how they get there. Come on, it isn't just Hollywood. It's everything. It's the devil's world. And it's up to us to wrestle it back and fix it and kick their ass out. They got to go. They got to go. And, you know, I think God's removing them. I think God's removing them a boatload at a time. And how he's showing us he's removing them is when they get on the TV or what have you, they implode themselves with their friggin' lies. Their bullshit hit the wall. And they implode right before our eyes with their, you know, for me, it's like when they start cursing out the Jews. That's the devil. To me, I'm a Jew. But when you go after God in the Bible and the people who study every word in the Bible, I'm not talking about, you know, lefties and commie Jewish people. I call ginos, Jews in name only. But I mean us that believe and we study and we wait and we believe, and you know, they just want to destroy us and everything that we have lived through. And it's a war, because in the Torah it says God created this earth to be a place where there would be a war between good and evil. That's what it says. And that's what we're seeing. And we're also seeing those who hate God. They hate the Bible. They hate people who are believers of that. They're coming hard on us. They're coming hard against us, and they're tearing us apart. But, you know, luckily, you know, also in Judaism, it says that, you know, though it looks like 99% is the material world, when we look out as human beings, we see 99% material world, physical world. It's the 1% that matters, because that's God. God is in this place of darkness, this world. The 1% is all that matters. And so I'm just watching it in that way, going, look at how God's exposing them. Look how they say one thing and do another. Look at their double standards. Look how they condemn these people for doing the same thing that they laud these people for doing. Look how they do. Look at it. See it. You're supposed to see it. You're supposed to witness it, because witnessing it weaves it into visibility, and then it will disappear. When people see it, when people pray it away, it'll go away. And it's all internal work. And don't be like all, you know, watching for devil porn. Get it in here and, you know, connect, see it, that it can be taken apart. Everything's strung together with words. Everything can be undone with words, the right words, holy words. And that's the 1%. And like I say, well, you know, there's a 99% versus a 1% that, you know, that's the chance we have, is the 1% in the 100%. But of course that's going to win, because that's the one that matters. That's all there is. All there is God. None of these devil worshiping fools, they're not going to win. They got a little bit of a show to put on, but enjoy it, because at the end they look like a bunch of assholes. Every damn one of them, from Schumer, oh, they're assholes, and we're seeing it. And we're watching the people that are defending them, and they're assholes too. It's a war of good people against assholes. So be sure to witness it. That's my 2 cents.
We often say on this program, Roseanne, it's a war of darkness versus light. But yeah, good people versus assholes. You know, we will certainly put that as a quote from Roseanne. You know what? That's the Roseanne version of that. Yes, not a group, God is in.
Because there's assholes in every group. So you're not fighting a whole group. You're fighting assholes of every color and stripe and belief. They're bad.
She said, this is the devil's world, and Epstein connects to it all. Now, I need you to catch that, you know, because I need you to hear exactly what she said. This isn't about left and right anymore, as I always tell y'all. It's about the system versus the people. It's about good versus evil. Epstein wasn't just a man. He was a mirror, okay? And what he reflected was power protected by both parties. Roseanne, not just venting, man. She was connecting the dots the media refuses to. And just when you thought that was extreme, in this next clip I'm about to show you, It's going to make you question everything.
It occurred to me, oh my gosh, they probably came in to the FBI, immediately looked at the Epstein files, and then were told or realized that Jeffrey Epstein is in witness protection. And so now they have to push the narrative that he killed himself in order to protect the fact that there's some greater goal to be accomplished with Whitpro. And he didn't kill himself. He's in witness protection. I mean, look at this clip here from Megyn Kelly last year. Watch, 61.
And we're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that for a fact. Can't tell you how I know, but I can tell you for a fact we're going to hear a lot more about Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year. And you may be even hearing from him directly. More on that as I'm allowed to tell you.
There you go. So what does she know that apparently Kash Patel doesn't know?
Yeah, this one is completely alleged.
It occurred to me, oh my gosh.
But here's why people are listening. It explains the flip. It explains the silence. It explains why people who used to speak boldly about Epstein, like Bongino, suddenly shifted the tone after taking office. Hey, son. Y'all know I'm recording a video. Why y'all over here by the refrigerator? It's going to make a noise. Y'all, go ahead, do it. It might as well get it out the way. I'm already talking about it. Now again, I'm not saying this is fact, but ask yourself, if there's nothing to hide, why is every answer getting blurrier and not clear whatsoever? But while that theory floats around, one woman grabbed the mic and burned the whole memo down. Megyn Kelly.
Tuesday.
Nothing's going on. Has anyone been on X in the past hour?
They're happy. That's why you know they haven't
That's right.
been on social media.
We'll update you.
Why don't you update them, Megyn?
Well, this is the first big scandal, I'd say, of the Trump administration that's on Team Rational. It's not a fake media scandal like the left tries to create for President Trump every other day. It's one of the right's own making, and it's not going well. And it has to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Let me just ask you, make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand. So every hand of 7,000 people.
Everybody cares.
A lot. I said a lot. Every hand.
Here's what I think is happening. I don't think President Trump is focused on this. He's focused on a lot of other things which are going great, and he needs to be focused on those other things. Jeffrey Epstein's not the most important thing on his agenda by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, he's crushing it on the tariffs, foreign policy, just got nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. If not Trump, then who? Honestly. Barack Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize after 9 months in office. He had done nothing. He gave a nice speech about Muslims, and they gave it to him. So President Trump should be getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and there's all sorts of things he's focused on. I just don't think this has captured his attention quite yet. But it needs to, because it's starting to create a real hornet's nest within the administration. And I've got to be honest, I blame Pam Bondi. I'll tell you why, okay? I have nothing, yes, incompetence, yes. I have nothing against Pam Bondi as a human being. I was fine with her nomination and her confirmation, and she's been loyal to the president, and I get that President Trump needs a loyal Attorney General. Look what happened with Sessions the first time. He went away, and then the next thing you know, we had the Mueller investigation, and it was a nightmare. But there are a lot of other people who can be loyal and competent in that job. Here, she is the reason that things are unraveling around this story right now that virtually all of the Republican Party cares deeply about. It's also true that Dan Bongino and Kash Patel had questions about Epstein before they took office, okay, before they went into the FBI. But once they joined the FBI, they said nothing. They've kept their mouths shut about Epstein. You have not seen them, except for one joint appearance with Dan and Kash on Fox, running all over the media looking for attention on this, yes, clickbaity story. Who have you seen? Pam Bondi. She has never missed an opportunity to go on television and dangle sweet nothings that might be coming your way. Try to lead you to believe that she's got it, it's on her desk, it's coming tomorrow, you're going to see something on Epstein. And it was a tease. So you either believe that Pam Bondi was telling the truth then, or that she's telling the truth now. But both cannot be true. She was either lying when she went on Fox News all those times saying, I've got it, we're looking at it, wait until you see it, it's horrible. Or she's lying in her 2-page memo that they released on a Sunday night at the tail end of a holiday weekend to Axios, as if Axios is where we all go for our news. Hell no. She went to someone she knew would not kick the tires on the story, and without signing the memo, dropped it in the dead of night and said, that's it. Take the crumbs and be happy. Refused to come out and give a presser. Come out and give a press conference. Stand there for 6 hours to the point where people are dying of boredom. They've asked all their questions. That's how you put a scandal to rest. But she wouldn't even sign her name to it. And I'm telling you, I have dollars to donuts. It's going to come out that there was internal consternation over that memo and whose name did and did not go on it and who it was and was not behind it. And so now you have a situation where her words on the record on Fox News are diametrically opposed to what she put in this memo. She's embarrassed the president. She's embarrassed herself. And Dan and Cash, to the extent they've had to sign off on that, let's understand the FBI is controlled by the DOJ. FBI is subservient to DOJ. She's their boss. That they're in this position where the only comments they've made on the record as administration officials have been, we don't think he killed himself, and we don't think he got murdered. We think he did kill himself. We've looked at the tapes, and Cash to Joe Rogan saying, if I saw all these tapes of Jeffrey Epstein with little girls, trust me, I would show you. But I haven't seen it. Okay, so what they're saying now is consistent with what they've said since they joined the office, and that is one of the many reasons why this scandal is squarely on her. And I'm telling you, I'm of the cable news universe. I've seen it happen a million times. People get thirsty. They love to see themselves on television. They love to see their names in the Klieg lights. They love the attention. They love the little emails and texts and tweets and thumbs up they get after their appearance, and they can feel their star rising. And listen, internally, I'm told there's a bit of like a power struggle between Pam Bondi and another female administration official on who's going to be the top dog. You know, we've got a great bench behind President Trump. We've got JD. We've got Marco. You know, we've got Hegseth. We've got a lot of people who could potentially be next up. But there are some women who've got their eye on that role too. And I've been.
That was Megyn Kelly on stage. Not behind the paywall, not in private, but in front of 7,000 people, I think Charlie Kirk mentioned. She flat out said what most of us are thinking. Pam Bondi promised the truth. She teased the files, dangled little sprinkles, and gave us hope and delivered nothing. Then she buried a 2-page memo on a holiday weekend with no signature. No pressure, no accountability. That ain't transparency. That is diversion. That is a diversion, man. And if you still think this isn't as serious as it's been alleged to be, let me show you how some are already talking like she's.
Pam Bondi's career as Attorney General may be over very soon. In fact, there are 3 reasons why we think this could happen before the end of the day. Number 1, Dan Bongino skipped work yesterday as Deputy Director of the FBI. Dan Bongino never skips work. He didn't like the way Pam Bondi handled the Epstein mess, which led to number 2, Matt Gaetz, who originally was President Donald Trump's choice to be Attorney General, skipping TPUSA, where he was set to speak today. He's not here. Guess where he is? Harmeet Dillon was also supposed to be at TPUSA. She's the Deputy Attorney General in charge of civil rights. I had an interview scheduled with her today. She abruptly canceled. And last night, Megyn Kelly on stage said Harmeet Dillon should be the new Attorney General. Now, we all hope Dan Bongino stays at the FBI because he's awesome, and we all know that Matt Gaetz has, well, confirmation problems in the Senate. But the ultimate choice for anything rests with President Donald Trump. And President Trump, if you're looking for a new Attorney General, I would like to personally highly recommend Judge Janine.
Now, hold up. Let's be fair. Pam Bondi has stood with Trump since day one. But loyalty ain't a free pass to mislead the public. I mean, if you use these platforms to scream, I have the files, it's on my desk, I've seen this, I've seen that, then drop a memo that says, never mind, basically. You don't just lose trust. You lose your right to lead, and anybody who believes in your leadership at that point, whether or not Bongino, actually walks, whether or not Bondi survives this storm. What's crystal clear is the truth didn't die with Epstein. Somehow they trying to bury it. Team Think, we not letting that happen. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You could be saving their life. Peace.